Good morning, everyone. I'm Stephanie Moffett. My presentation is on pharmaceutical pollution in the Pamlico River Basin. I'm an undergraduate senior at East Carolina University. I will be graduating in May with a bachelor's in GIST. Pharmaceuticals are not currently regulated by the EPA, but they are classified as emerging contaminants because of their prevalence nationwide. Commonly used to treat humans and animals for a variety of ailments. The wide variety of uses also means a wide variety of ingredients and compounds. Medications can act differently under the same conditions in terms of breaking down, the effects that are caused. There's essentially no regulations on unused and expired pharmaceutical disposal as well. This is an excerpt, actually, I retrieved from FDA's website on a page telling households what to do with their expired and unused pharmaceutical products. While they do recommend putting most unused and expired medications in the trash, they actually still recommend flushing certain medications. What's really shocking about this, though, is that on that list, it includes a variety of typically thought of as stronger level, higher medications like morphine, oxycodone, and Dilaudid. This brings us to the problem. Pharmaceuticals enters our wastewater from one of three pathways: bathing, excretion, and then that direct dumping down sinks and toilets. Wastewater treatment plants have little filtration to remove these contaminants, and the filtration they do have aren't very effective. On the other hand, septic systems have no filtration, and wastewater goes directly into the soils and groundwater. Agriculture, especially industrial livestock farms, are also responsible for the pharmaceutical contamination in our watersheds. These pharmaceutical contaminants end up in our rivers, lakes, and even drinking water. Hormone drugs especially cause the most problems, predominantly among fish populations. There are also a host of other effects that are being brought to light recently on other effects in aquatic, invertebrate, and even bird populations in the UK. My previous research up to this point focused on human pharmaceutical use with the following questions. Where are the highest potential areas for pharmaceutical use? Do pharmaceutical use patterns vary based on demographics? Are urban areas the only regions with high potential for pharmaceutical contamination? Additionally, I was also looking to compare the patterns of pollution potential in areas with wastewater service areas versus those septic systems. My study region is the Pamlico River Basin, mainly because it's close proximity to ECU, and there's a direct impact in the Greenville and Eastern North Carolina region. The data used for the project included shapefiles and Excel tables from U.S. Census Bureau, shapefiles from NC1 map on sewer systems and service areas, and data from CDC. Raw totals of individuals taking pharmaceuticals does not exist. The CDC has a self-reporting system for individuals to go on and declare what kind of medications they're taking. And then from there, they actually make a national averages based on age, gender, and race ethnicity. But because these are the best data available, I had to just go for the potential for pharmaceutical use using those averages. This is actually two of the maps I produced on gender. I apologize, my legends, apparently I did not export them to graphics like I thought they did, so they are not actually working on this presentation. I do apologize if you'll bear with me. You can see the higher concentrations for both the male and female population are around the cities, including Henderson, Rocky Mount, and Greenville region. The females, you can notice, though, the circles are a lot bigger. Females tend to take a lot more of the prescriptions, according to... These results are probably because of the fact that women take a lot more of the hormone drugs, which are the ones that are really causing problems for our environment. Unfortunately, the race ethnicity ones that I did really more represent the population of the different urban and rural distinctions and don't really play as much of a part into telling the potential of pharmaceuticals like I thought. This map is just an overall prescription usage with the wastewater treatment plant service areas. Like the individual maps, the highest pharmaceutical usage is found around the cities and the major towns. Conclusions, not surprisingly, the hotspots of pharmaceutical use are centered predominantly in the urban areas. Despite this, areas dominated by septic tanks show widespread pollution potential, particularly given the soils of eastern North Carolina and the heavy rainfall. Pharmaceutical use patterns do vary based on age, gender, and race ethnicity, more so on the age and gender rather than the race ethnicity. My future research, my undergraduate thesis is actually examining the potential for pharmaceutical pollution in agriculture, especially industrial farms like the hog farming and poultry farms, since I do have a lot of those rural regions in my study area. That's basically going to be the focus. There's runoff from fields where they use manure, especially the hog farms. There's just a lot of potential already in research out there, and going to see what I can do to uncover any other ways that pharmaceuticals are getting in wastewater through them. And the questions that I'm trying to seek to answer: does animal farming and agriculture play a part in overall PPC contamination? How does land use affect PPC pollution potential, especially because I've got a lot of those rural areas and all the farms in my study region? Also, how do potential agricultural PPC concentrations compare to those of the urban areas? I'm going to compare the hotspots between the two for the most potential. Thank you. Any questions?